Very welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History. I'm Claire Ridgway. I've written several Tudor history books and I also run the Anne Boleyn Files and Tudor Society websites. Got a very chirpy bird outside the back door today. So if you're wondering what that noise is, it isn't something electronic, it is actually wildlife, a very chirpy, happy bird in our garden. Okay, today I'm taking you back to 1528. For on this day in Tudor history, the 22nd of June 1528, Anne Boleyn's sister Mary Boleyn lost her husband William Carey to sweating sickness. This sweating sickness epidemic swept through the English court and London as well in May and June 1528. An awful sickness. I've actually done a video on it, which I'll give you a link to as well. Now, Mary's sister Anne, her brother George, and her father Thomas also caught sweating sickness, but fortunately for them, they were able to fight it off successfully and recovered well. We know about William Carey's death from a letter written by Thomas Heneage to Cardinal Thomas Wolsey on the 23rd of June 1528, in which he mentions not only Anne and George recovering from the sweat, but he also mentions William Carey. He wanted to remind Wolsey of his promise regarding Carey's sister and the position of prioress at Wilton Abbey, and then he adds news of Carey's death in the postscript. He says, "Lord be Jesu, the King's grace is very merry since he came to this house, for there was none fell sick of the sweat since he came hither, and ever after dinner he shooteth to supper time. This morning is told me that Mistress Anne and my Lord of Rochford had the sweat, and that was past the danger thereof. Mr. Carey begs you to be gracious to his sister, a nun in Wilton Abbey, to be prioress there, according to your promise. Mr. Tuke is here and lies in the court under the King's privy chamber, so that he may come at the King's pleasure. At every meal the King sends him a dish from his table. The King will tarry here 14 days. Hunsdon, the 23rd of June." And the postscript, "This night, as the King went to bed, word came of the death of William Carey." Now, Mary and William Carey had been married since the 4th of February 1520 and had two children, Catherine and Henry, born in 1524 and 1526 respectively. Carey's death left Mary in quite dire financial straits, and she ended up having to write to King Henry VIII for help. The King intervened with Thomas Boleyn, Mary's father, on Mary's behalf to ensure that he made some provision for her. And the King also assigned her an annuity which had previously been paid to her late husband. Mary's sister Anne was granted the wardship of Mary's son Henry, meaning that Anne was responsible for his education and upbringing, which took financial pressure off her sister. Mary went on to remarry in 1534. She married William Stafford in secret without her family or her sister the Queen's permission. And she turned up at court that September 1534 to inform her sister of her marriage. And Mary was heavily pregnant at this time. Anne was furious with her sister, and Mary was banished from court and her allowance was cut off. It is not known what happened to the baby that Mary was carrying. It's never mentioned again. Mary died in July 1543, and you can find out about this Boleyn girl in the videos that I've done on her. I think I've done 3 videos. Who was Mary Boleyn? Mary Boleyn, Mistress of Two Kings, and Mary Boleyn, Is There More to Know? Because I know many people find her fascinating, as she has been the subject of books, novels, and of course movies such as The Other Boleyn Girl. So do watch those videos as I go into much more detail on Mary Boleyn, her life, and the myths and questions that surround her. But that's what happened on this day in Tudor history. We have Mary Boleyn being sadly widowed because of the awful sweating sickness epidemic that killed so many people. A really, really fast killer, awful illness. Okay, you can subscribe to this channel by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as videos go live, but rest assured that I will be here on a daily basis with more Tudor goodies for you to enjoy. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.